Wonderful good day, ladies and gentlemen. Minds and Money 2015, and we are now here in a special meeting booth out of Osisko Royalties, and Osisko Royalties will be with us in a minute. But first of all, we have here Falco Resources now, and Vincent Metcalfe, who is the CFO and joined the company this year, at the beginning of the year, will give us a nice update about. Vincent? Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for taking the time, and a great opportunity here to talk to you. As we have a lot of shareholders in Germany already, and Switzerland also, so I think it's really important that you give us a nice little update about Falco.
Absolutely.
So what happened this year?
It's been a very interesting year. We've done a lot of work. There was a lot of changes in the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. We had obviously a management change. Osisko decided to get more involved in the project.
What's the share on Osisko now in
The shareholder
Falco?
now owns basically 12% of the ownership of the company.
Yeah.
So it's been it was something that they'd been looking at for a while. They already had a position when they had Osisko Mining Corporation, so it was something that they'd been looking around basically as a step 2 or step 3 in the development pipeline once the Canadian Malartic mine was going to be up and running basically. Mm-hmm. So it's something they were already very close to, and now with the creation of the Osisko Royalties company, they wanted to basically get more involved and make sure, and develop it. So get the Horn 5 to construction decision as quickly as possible.
Yeah, super. Well, it was a bit quiet, let's say, in the first 2-3 quarters of this year. Of course, now we are obviously close to Christmas. You had a lot of news releases, very good drill results. Can you elaborate a bit what you did during spring and summer, and what is the result out of that?
Well, the reason why there wasn't a lot of news during the summer is that we were conducting basically a confirmation drilling program. We did 17,000 meters of drilling, so we did 9 holes and 9 wedges, but these holes aren't these small 100-meter holes. Most of them are 1,500 meters to 2,000-meter deep holes, so they're very long holes, and before you actually get the results, it takes a while. And the other thing that's very important is that we're not testing only for gold. We're testing for copper, zinc, silver, and gold. So 4 elements that we have to test for, and these mineralizations are very, very long. So we've had some holes over 108 meters. So, and we're testing every meter. So it takes a while before you actually get the results back. But now, as you said, since 2 weeks ago, we've actually completed the reports on those holes. It's been obviously very positive from our point of view. We were able to confirm the historical data with the current drilling from this year. So basically, if you compare the historical data to our data, we're 4% higher. So what we needed to...
That's fantastic.
Yes, it's fantastic, but we needed to be close to the historical data. We wanted to be basically in a position to say to the market, the drilling that was done by Noranda in the old days was good data, and we could use it. So right now we're in a position to say the historical data is a good database that we're able to use, and that's obviously what we wanted to achieve. The other thing that we have to take into account is that the silver was never included in the initial resource.
Oh, that comes on top now.
If you look at our results, we've been reporting anywhere from 18 to 20 grams per ton of silver. So that's going to be an added bonus in the new resource that will be coming out shortly. So
that's what I wanted to ask.
We expect
you have a nice Christmas present for us.
Yes, so either before Christmas or just after Christmas, depending on timing. But within, we're early December. Within the next 6 weeks, we'll have a new resource out.
So, but I presume it's better than the old one?
Yes, absolutely. It's supposed to be, and it's one of those things that we've been doing a lot of work on the engineering side, so that will be taken into account into the resource update as well. Metallurgy results will be coming out in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's very important.
We have to get those results out before we actually get the new resource update, because it has to be taken into account. So we have a lot of news, coming in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
So can we say you are already satisfied with the metallurgy? Does it look okay?
I mean, we haven't seen any fatal flaws. So I mean, we're comfortable with what we're working with at the moment.
Fantastic. As I remember, you had those old data from Noranda, was like 200,000 meters, wasn't it?
It's 305 kilometers. So
yeah, exactly.
Over 4,400 drill holes.
So I mean, when you have now confirmed a lot of that, That's a big bonus, a big advantage to have.
Absolutely.
Because then we can maybe say also, well, then the other old core looks also good, because when you can confirm a lot of the ones you have so far, maybe it's quite close that the other ones are also fine. So that's a big bonus for the company.
Absolutely.
Of course, you have to confirm more. That's for sure. Well, drilling costs a lot of money. We know that. And metallurgy costs a little bit of money. What's in the bank? What is your burn rate? And are you financed for 2016?
So we released our latest results, financial results last week. We finished the quarter with $3.8 million in the bank. Most of that will be spent before the end of the year, because most of that is flow-through dollars. So we're still drilling today. We actually have 3 drills running today on 2 different programs that we could talk to afterwards. But we have, by the end of the year, we'll probably have $1.2 million in the bank. And following that, we'll have a new PEA study coming out in April timeframe. And following that, we should have around $750,000 to $800,000 post-study.
Okay, but that's important. And I mean, normally you do a PEA when you are convinced that it's positive.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the influence of the Osisko Mining Group, which we're working with. We have basically the guys that build Canadian Malartic helping us evaluate Horn 5. So
they know the business.
Yes, and it's not only an exploration company. We have 2 things. We focus on exploration, but we're also focusing on developing and de-risking the project as quickly as possible to create shareholder value.
So can we say probably that there's a possibility that Falco will bring the Horn 5 again in production together with Osisko?
It sure is one of the plans that we're looking for.
Could be an idea. Okay, fantastic. So also for all the metals, right?
Yes.
I mean, you have 4 metals. And all 4 metals are really needed.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. It's obviously more of a precious metal deposit, but the copper and the zinc will definitely have a good influence on our costs.
Yeah, fantastic. As you said, for next year, the PEA, that's one of the big goals, of course, you want to achieve.
Absolutely.
Anything else you would say this is really important for you guys next year in addition?
So another thing that we released a few weeks ago, we've had a lot of releases over the past few weeks. We've recently hit what we call the Cayman extension. That's actually a very good piece of news, because it's a small discovery in the sense that we weren't expecting to get results from that area. We're following that target at the moment. We've got drills actually following that area, so we should have some upside there. That will not be taken into account in the PEA. So this is all additional, results that could have an effect once we get into production. And the other good thing that we released lately is that we'll be able to use the Cayman shaft as a production shaft. So we've got a 1.3 kilometer shaft that's already been sunk. That's about 600 meters away from the Horn 5 deposit. That's existent, and that we'll be able to use.
And in good shape?
Yes, in good shape. Well, we came out with basically the water results also in November. That was a very good piece of news as well, given that we were able to show the market that we weren't necessarily dealing with acid water. At the bottom of the Cayman shaft, we're actually very close to being neutral. So that was an excellent piece of news for us.
Great, super. Vincent, thank you very much for that.
Pleasure.
Thanks for the update, and it all looks good so far.
Absolutely.
You have been very busy, but now the results are coming, and we look forward on more.
2016 should be a good year.
I love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Vincent Metcalfe, the CFO of Falco Resources. And you heard it. They were very busy. It was very quiet, but now the news are kicking in. The news flow is there, and they did a lot confirmation drilling. Almost 4% more they found than the historical data. And this is a very important point to consider, because that means that the 305,000 meters drill core they have so far looks pretty good. It is the same stuff we have now here for today. And pretty much the new resource update will be likely better than the old one, that's for sure. And also the PEA is coming, and we look forward to that in 2016. And great company, great project. Check it out. Thanks from London, and bye-bye.